Hello and welcome to Finextra TV. I'm Hannah Wallace and we're here at EBADay 2019 in Stockholm. Kindly joining me now in the TV studio is Dan Petagna from Trace Financial, and we're talking about standards convergence and messaging divergence. Hello Dan, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for speaking with me.
No problem at all. So the first thing I want to speak to you about is the trends we're seeing in the financial messaging industry. So could you highlight what some of those are first?
Certainly, yeah. So really there are a few key trends. One is the amount of data. So you're seeing things like open banking, open APIs in general, that's increasing the data flows. You're seeing solution providers onboarding new clients, and you're also seeing regulatory reporting requirements ever increasing. And in some ways, that data that the customers are dealing with is becoming much more standard. So you've got national payment platforms around the world standardizing and various other harmonisation projects. On the flip side of that though, you've also got the wanting to offer a frictionless onboarding experience. And this is where a solution provider will say, you give me the data in a format you understand, I will then take it and I will convert it to allow it to be on my platform. And that's very different to what happened, a few years ago. So our customers are finding they've got lots of different types of data and lots of data in itself. And without Transformer, some of our customers are really struggling to bring their client onboarding and so on. They just found they couldn't keep up with demand. With Transformer though, it becomes much more painless because they're able to graphically build rules, drag and drop in the interface, test it on their desktop and then embed into their own systems.
All right, well, following on from that quite nicely, we're seeing a number of data harmonisation initiatives across the globe, but of course with this comes some challenges and unanswered questions. Can you tell us what some of those are?
Yeah, certainly. I think the key challenges really are that often it's time. The 2021 deadline, for example, with Swift's MT to ISO migration, a number of years away. We may think we've got plenty of time for that. Actually, time will pass very, very quickly, and the impact on systems is going to be huge. I was reading a recent Finextra article with Deutsche Bank recently where they said it would be a mistake to treat this as just another IT project, purely because of the number of systems impacted. So you've got large organisations who are going to have a huge number of systems to worry about. They're going to have a large number of stakeholders to please. Smaller organisations, I think, are going to struggle with delivering changes to their systems because they're not going to have the time, the budget or the expertise to understand how to adapt their systems. And obviously Transformer can really help here because, again, it takes away the pain of ensuring your data is in the right format. So whether you're looking for a strategic rewrite of systems or a tactical bridging interface to keep you going for the meantime, then I think by building those rules in Transformer, embedding into your own existing systems, you can deliver projects much more quickly. So I think currently though, what's unanswered with the sort of ISO 20022 migration approaches for all the different systems is how to marry that with open banking. Open banking, modern APIs. By that we mean RESTful web services, and that means JSON data structures. And at the moment you've got the richness of this data model of ISO 20022, and then you've got the ease of access for JSON structures, but there's no real match of richness to simplicity. And the ISO 20022 working group have produced guidelines, but I think actually that's going to end up, they are just guidelines. So you've got these ISO 20022-like structures, but ISO 20022-like is not ISO 20022. So you're going to end up with lots of variations of data. And again, Transformer can help here because its JSON interoperability really simplifies that representation of data in a JSON format.
Some interesting developments ahead then as well, but what can industry players do to prepare for these data harmonisation deadlines?
Sure, well, it always amazes me at these kind of events where the number of people I speak to who are only just realising the impact it's going to have on their systems. So I think communication is key, and that's communication within the industry, or within the organisations themselves, but also communication from the infrastructure providers as well. Once people do know what the initiative is, then I think the individual organisations need to be honest about their ability to deliver an update to their solutions in time for the deadlines. If they're unable to take that strategic approach, then I think a more tactical solution, there's no problem with that in the short term. And again, whether it's tactical or strategic, Transformer can really help get them over the finishing line much more quickly.
Sure, well Dan has a good outlook for the future there and some good advice as well. Thank you very much for your insights. I'll let you get back out there. Thank you.
Thanks very much.